little bit about your thoughts. And I know you covered this in the presentation, but if we could talk more about the most challenging risk to business continuity and how should businesses prepare to address it, and maybe drill down some of those steps.
Yeah, so we talked about the business continuity and making sure that you mitigate those situations, those threats that we talked about. Um, so obviously, if your system is in the cloud, then a lot of those issues are taken care of by your service provider. So they're able to help with that, and with redundancies and data backups, and being able to check that endpoint authentication to make sure that any device that's attaching to your cloud environment doesn't have any malicious software on it as well that's going to affect the cloud. So all those things are taken care of with the cloud. On an on-premise solution, then of course you have to take care of those yourselves. Um, you know, you may have multiple servers, backups that you take off-site. Daily backups that you take off-site that if you need to get your data back, you can definitely do that. Redundancy from your internet provider, right? So it allows you to have maybe multiple different ways to access the internet as well, to allow access to those applications also. So there's different ways that you can mitigate those circumstances, but again, if you're in the cloud, that's taken care of by your cloud service provider. If you're on the premise, then you take care of those yourselves and build in those safeguards.
Thank you so much. And if we could talk a little bit too about the critical factors to consider when choosing your cloud manufacturing ERP solution.
Sure. So I always think that one of the main factors to consider is obviously the functionality, right? So you have to make sure that you're looking for the solution that meets your requirements, and typically that's something that's industry specific. If you're welding and bending and cutting metal, then you've got different requirements than if you're processing food or beverage type um, goods. So you've got to make sure that you're really looking for the correct industry specific ERP solution. But then also it needs to be native to the cloud. If you're going to the cloud, which that's one of the things that a lot of our customers are wanting to do now. There has to be native. You have to be able to access it through some kind of a web browser URL without having to connect to other environments. Multi-tenant is always a good thing to have when you're looking for a cloud ERP solution. So the costs can be shared across multiple customers, and your cloud provider can maintain those environments across and amongst multiple different customers. So different things to look for. I would think functionality is probably one of the main things based on your requirements and processes, but then also technology and making sure that it is a real cloud solution, web-based, and not something that has maybe been uplifted to the cloud that really is more of a client server solution that could cause you problems moving forward.